So if you're an Apple fan, you know that September is huge for brand new Apple products. But with COVID-19 happening this year, things have been pushed a little further back. What's going on, guys? My name's David Tomich and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the brand new iOS 14, all the rumors and all the leaks that have come out to date. As I record this, it is the 7th of June 2020, which means in a couple of weeks, the Apple Worldwide Developers Conference is going live on the 22nd of June for the first time around the globe. Usually it is an in-person event that costs about $1,500 to attend. However, this year with the madness and the pandemic, they are doing all things free online for everybody to watch. So if that's something that interests you, be sure to check out my channel during that time to get all the latest updates. But for now, let's get into all the rumors of iOS 14 and the huge change it has to your iPhone. So if you have any recent Apple flagship device, you'll know they just pushed out the brand new ISO 13.5.1. This update is purely a security patch. If you've had iOS 13.5, many people have already jailbroken that version to allow you to get free paid apps, all sorts of different tweaks and features, different themes, and basically let you configure it a little bit more like a Samsung or Android device. Jailbreaking your device is against Apple's regulations, so I don't recommend it. It will void your warranty if they're able to find out if it gets bricked or something along those lines. So if you don't have to do it, or if you don't know what you're doing, pretty much don't do it. But yeah, that's the reason Apple has released 13.5.1 to just fix up a few security issues. But iOS 14 is a huge change to the device. So something that has stayed consistent since day one of the iPhone is the home screen, the simplicity of it, the user-friendly nature of it. But now it is rumored that iOS 14 will push out a whole new array of features for the home screen. We're talking a list view of all your apps, ordering them by most used, or even by the ones that have the most notifications, and even potentially including widgets onto your home screen. Now, if you aren't an Android user and you've never used an Android before, you probably don't know what widgets are. But widgets basically allow you to order your home screen how you like. Something that can give you kind of a good indication of what this is on an Apple device is on an iPad. If you swipe across to the notification center and you have the different section underneath, like weather, battery life of the pencil, of the iPad, things like that, that's a widget built into the native ISO. An update like this would really allow you to have a bit more freedom and customization in your home screen. You could have the weather permanently at the bottom, an alarm clock, all sorts of different features that Android users have had the liberty and luxury of for many years. But the downside to this, in my personal opinion, is the simple fact it isn't an iPhone anymore. It is a more complex device to use. It isn't user-friendly for all people across the spectrum. So for somebody that's a little bit older and has never used too much technology in their lifetime, an Apple device is perfect because it is so user-friendly. For a newer user, it probably isn't too much of a big deal. But I know personally, I always recommend iPhones and Apple devices to people who have never used technology before because it's so easy to pick up and it's so intuitive. All these extra tech features are going to make it a bit tricky and a bit harder for the older generation to learn how to use this device. So even though this is a great feature that has been rumored, and personally I would love to see it on an iPhone, I don't know if this is a good business decision from Apple's side of things, because most of their market is anybody between 18 all the way to 60, 75. Something that also will be very handy and very helpful to people on an iPhone is the fact that it's rumored you're going to be able to change your default open applications. So for example, if you open something on Safari for Google Maps, for example, and it automatically takes you to Apple Maps, you didn't have the ability to change that previously. Now you're going to have the ability to change it to Waze, Google Maps, or whatever other map software you want to use. This is going to be the same feature across the spectrum. So if you want to use potentially Word instead of Notes or whatever like that, you should have the ability to change this now. The next rumored update is something we're all accustomed to in other apps. The iPhone messaging system is predicted to get an @person directory. So if you're in a group message and want to go @John, you're going to be able to simply target that person so they get a direct notification. We're all used to this in Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp, so it's about time they caught up. You're also going to have the ability to retract messages. If somebody hasn't seen it, you're probably going to be able to get rid of it before they do. And you're also going to be able to mark messages as unread, so you can come back to them later and not lose your place. That's personally very handy for me because I do that with emails all the time. I'll read an email and go, that's pretty important. I want it to be notified. I want it to stay in my notifications list, so I just mark it as unread. The next feature has been promised for a while now, and that's multitasking. Multitasking is more than likely going to be coming to the iPads more so than the iPhones because of the real estate size, but it will be good to see them on all devices across the board. Multitasking on an iPhone and an iPad is a very simple feature that is, again, available to all Android devices already. So for example, on my S20, I can simply open 2 apps, split screen, top to bottom or side to side, and run them simultaneously. This is a very handy feature to use for productivity. Personally, I don't use it too much. I don't see the real estate on a phone being optimized for it, but on an iPad, it would definitely be very useful. I do use it on the iPad already, which is a little bit of a different multitasking app, but it works really, really well. Now, another feature that's going to be coming to the Safari platform and across the board to the Apple native apps is Direct Translate. So if you've used Google Chrome before and accidentally go onto a website that isn't in your native language, it'll automatically ask you to translate it. Safari now, on the other hand, is going to allow you to do this straight away without having to worry about internet data or anything like that. It's going to have the ability to natively translate this into your native language through the iOS. This is also going to be seen in places like the App Store where people leave reviews in other languages, or potentially even on Instagram and Facebook where somebody's bio might be a little bit different and you might not understand what it says. So it'll automatically translate this and be able to do it without internet, which is again a very, very good and useful feature. Sticking to the native kind of updates inside the iOS, and that's the update for the Apple Pencil. The Apple Pencil will now begin to support drag and drop functionality. So for an example, if you're filling out a timeline on a website, or you need to click drag and drop or click drag and release something with the Apple Pencil, you haven't really had perfect ability to do that until now. So with the iOS 14 update, we're going to have the ability to click, drag a line all the way to the bottom, release, and have it interact just like a mouse. And I think this has come through the native integration of the new iOS iPad mouse integration with the new pointer. So all these features are slowly starting to make iPads and iPhones a little bit more like a computer. Something that is a bit of a COVID-friendly feature and would have been great to have a few months ago is a brand new PT inbuilt into your iPhone. So very soon you're going to have a PT that's able to coach you in swimming, running, lifting, all sorts of exercises that generally require a coach. This can also be implemented into Apple TV. So for example, if you're in your living room, want to do some yoga, want to do some Pilates, or want to just get a quick 15-minute HIIT workout in, you're going to have your own personal trainer ready to go. I think this is a really, really cool app and something I definitely look forward to exploring in the near future. And finally, this is a very big update, so I apologize for the length of the video. However, the last update I'm going to talk about today is Apple Car Key. Now, Apple Car Key is definitely a luxury update for the more privileged user, I guess, if iPhones aren't already a privileged device. Car Key allows you to start, unlock, lock your car without having your car key. It works on the same principle that mobile payment system work and near-field communication works. It runs through the near-field communication chip and allows you to pass that data across without having any major security patches. So with iOS 14 and the new updates, your smartwatch, for example, will be able to potentially open your brand new car in the future. At the moment, it looks like only BMW are looking at releasing and implementing this feature into their lineup of cars. No car in the world has Apple Car Key yet, but it will be definitely a feature to look out for in the future when buying a car if you're already integrated in the Apple ecosystem. Car manufacturers like Range Rover have already started manufacturing their own smart wrist bracelets to be able to unlock your car without having your keys on you. So for example, if you're going out for a run, going for a swim at the beach, you don't have to worry about taking your keys, having them stolen. You're going to be able to just use that key tag. So with Apple coming into the game and changing it once again, bringing that near field communication into your smartwatch or into your phone that you're already going to be using and more than likely taking with you to the beach or for a run is a much better way than purchasing another device. So it is that ideology of really integrating everything into a smart world through the Apple ecosystem. Anyway, that's all for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really look forward to telling you more about the iOS 14 update on June 22nd when they give us a developer beta release, and then hopefully in October, potentially, they've already said it's going to be delayed, so we won't see it in September, the new iPhone 12 update and all full iOS 14 features released to the public. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that subscribe button 2020 style, and as always, I'll see you next Monday.